Hey everyone, this is Austin Schur here. We write about music, and today I am so happy to have back on again Cody Steinmann. He has a brand new record out. It's called Straight Bullet Blues, and I'm very excited to talk to him all about it. Cody, it's been a little bit. How are you doing?
I'm good, Austin. How are you, man?
I'm doing great. This is the highlight of my day, hands down, truly.
Wow. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm that makes me happy to hear. It's
Cool.
definitely good to see you too, man. For real.
Always, always. Let's talk about this record. Honestly, the first thing I want to talk about is the album name because I think it's kind of like it's the first kind of feeling that you get before you get into a record is what's it called and what does the artwork look like. I had an idea based off of the name, but I'd love to hear it from you.
Um, well, in short, the name Stray Bullet Blues is just about the feeling I got after me and my girlfriend had this incident where we had a stray bullet blow a hole through our entire condo,
What?
and yeah, this was just it was like my way of processing it. Um,
Holy
so
shit.
we were both home. It was in October of 2023. It was a Sunday night and it wasn't even 10 o'clock. It was like 9:50. And we lived on like a fairly high second floor condo. So it wasn't just like your normal second floor. It was really realistically probably close to like a third floor. Um, so, but there's a long alley just like
Yeah.
in front of it. So someone must have just aimed too high and then just far enough down the alley with a high powered enough gun that it penetrated through a double pane window, two walls, and a cabinet. And it didn't stop until it hit a metal air duct in our uh, laundry room.
Were you in the apartment or in the house
Yeah,
while this
yeah,
happened?
yeah. We both were. It was 5 feet away from Cynthia's head when it came through the window, maybe a little less than that. And I was
Oh,
actually sitting down about I don't know. I was farther away. I was maybe 20 feet from where it came in through the window, opposite side of the condo. But yeah, had it been like 10 minutes earlier, it could have been either one of us, making food there. It went right above our kitchen sink through the cabinet of the bathroom, right above the toilet. Um, if I had been like using the bathroom,
yeah.
standing, I would have took a bullet to the right eye. And that's what you see as the
What?
cover art. That
Yeah, yeah,
cabinet
yeah.
is the cabinet right above our toilet in the condo.
Um, Holy shit. I don't even know what to say. That's horrible, obviously, and I'd like to say that that's surprising, but without getting too into it, that's just like we live in America. Like it's like not even a surprise anymore,
Sadly, yeah,
sadly. Damn. I'm so sorry to hear that. That's insane. I guess knowing the meaning of it, I want to loop it back to like this is an all instrumental record. So there's no lyricism to kind of like break down stories of what happened and this and that. I know that I guess the only lyricism is the three words in the album title. Do you find that the actual record is similar to the feelings that you felt? Because I mean, even just listening, I feel that this record is a little more heavy sounding as opposed to others.
yeah. No, I definitely think it is. I definitely feel like that's. I mean, that's really what it was. It was exactly that. It was just me processing the feelings. Each one of the songs is like a different song about like how I tried to kind of like arrange it in order of like how I felt. Some of them aren't maybe exactly in order because like I don't know because that like they all came in waves. But like at least like the first however many tracks are kind of like in order of the feelings I felt, and then the rest
Yeah.
of them are just all other feelings I felt during the time too. Um, like the first and the last, like the last one is like where I arrived, but um, I was a hard. Honestly, I was having kind of a hard time figuring out how to put fleeting moments, patience, and patience, understanding, and stray bullet blues in there. Like the first thing, like, I feel like we're bleeding, I feel like we're dying, was definitely like a big thing. Um, because I mean, it was weird, man. Like, um, in all honesty, I had spent time around guns before. I grew up in um, I mean, I don't know. There's plenty of stuff you can find on the internet about me talking about how I grew up. So I don't really feel I need to rehash that anymore.
Sure.
But just to put it in a nutshell, like I just, I grew up in a difficult neighborhood with a lot of difficult people.
Sure.
Um, um, and but I'd locally never been on this the side of bullets coming my way. So
Right.
instinctually for me, there was like this like hitting the ground sort of thing. And, you know, uh, it just is kind of interesting to me just how, regardless, because I mean, I'm not a competitive person. One, I'm not a competitive person. And
Sure.
I'm saying that just like to like make even more impact on this. Like I'm just not. I don't solve anything through violence.
Yeah.
I just don't. Like I'm not. So I'm like the least prepared probably person for something like this to happen. But it's just crazy how, I don't know. Like I have ancestors who were in wars and stuff like that, and
Right.
um, maybe something instinctual or whatever just like kicked in. But yeah, it was crazy because like the first thing I did was, I just like I hit the floor without even really thinking about it, and then I was just like yelling over to Cynthia to get down.
Right. Yeah,
And
because you don't know if there's a second one coming. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
So, dude, I mean, listen, I think that creating instrumental music is arguably the hardest when trying to communicate a message. You know what I'm saying? Like you literally only have your instruments to create that emotion and tension and release and build up and climax and all that stuff. Whereas like any normal song, you're like, what's wrong? Let me tell you about it in my words. So the fact that like I've listened to it a few times, the record a few times over, and I can immediately tell that without knowing the context beforehand, that something's different. Maybe something's not necessarily wrong, but like the impact of the music and the sound and the way that you kind of blueprinted everything fully comes through. And honestly, it's kind of why I gravitate towards your music so much, is it actually makes me think as opposed to just like puts the words in my brain like so much other music. Um, that's not really a question. It's more a compliment to you because you're just a great composer when it comes down to it.
Thank you, thank you.
You're welcome.
That really does mean a lot, man. I'm Yeah, I mean, my goal is actually to make people think. So
Yeah, you've done it
that
here.
that really uh, makes me happy that that's
Awesome.
where you're going with it, or how
Totally.
it makes you feel. Um, but yeah, they're definitely in that order. I mean, it was like I feel like we're bleeding, I feel like we're dying. Um, Having this like just kind of like blues moment because like I already had C what's called CPTSD, complex post traumatic stress disorder, simply
Mhm.
meaning that there is like multiple different traumatic moments in your life. So
Right.
and stuff like that. A lot of my stuff was also early childhood, so there's just so much of it that was like already like just like locked in my body before any of
Yeah.
this um had even happened. Um but I mean this alone, I mean, is definitely, for some people. It's funny because my girlfriend, she doesn't want to call it a near death experience. She's like, oh, it's not a near death experience. The bullet was, I was over there
That
5 feet away
that
from me, and
I
I'm just
disagree
like,
so hard with that. I'm
I
sorry to
know
say.
that's what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
I'm, I'm like, are you serious? Not a near death experience? Like I'm
I
like,
don't
by all
think it
means,
would have been if you weren't home. If you came
yeah,
home to see that something happened, then yeah, like, oh my God, what happened? But the fact that you were there just because you were sitting on a couch or you were in another room or whatever it is, that doesn't matter. I think that's like the literal
Well,
definition
it,
of it.
our condo was really only 3 rooms, a bathroom. Well, it was 4 rooms: a bathroom,
Yeah,
a laundry room, a bedroom that wasn't even a like completely walled off bedroom, and then there's just like the main area.
sure.
And 90% of the day we're in that area where that bullet came through. Like if we're
It's
just being
insane.
completely honest, 90, 95, where it came
Right.
through is where she worked during the day. So
Yeah.
yes, to me, I'm like you're crazy not thinking this is a near death experience. So
Yeah.
so I definitely feel that way. I know a lot of people I've told about this feel that way.
Yeah, I don't want to
And
bash your
so
girlfriend or anything, but I think
no, I'm
she's
not
wrong
bashing her.
here.
No, no,
I
no,
don't
no,
want
no,
to. I'm
no,
saying
no. I'm
I think
not.
she's
It's
wrong.
a. It's not that personal, but I'm just like, no, I agree. I think she's wrong too.
Yeah. All right.
But so just
Yeah.
I just want to wrap this up real quick. The
Yeah,
point
you're
that I'm
good. You're
trying
good.
to the point that I'm trying to get at though is like so it was like it felt like that. It was like that
Sure.
those things, and then like I already had PTSD, so when the straight bullet blues part came in, it was just like a lot of asking myself was really big questions, and I guess like the little shred of safety that I felt I had
Sure.
at that point just completely evaporated. And
Man.
uh yeah, then it was like the processing started, and that's where um who am I and fleeting moments comes in. And then
Yeah.
I mean the at the end it was like I had to have like a lot of patience and understanding for myself and for others. And I ended up getting into a bunch of James Baldwin's work, and that's where the tune
Oh,
"They Are You" came from, because that was like that's where everything resolved for me. Because he has this one interview where he talks about how love isn't a popular movement, and that the world is really held together by the love of a very few. And I completely agree. And the at the end of that sentiment, he goes into this part where he was talking about how everyone you look at on the street is they are you, like they are you, and like those are the words
interesting.
that just really stood out to me. Um, so yeah, that's kind of like the story in as much of a nutshell I can put it in. I know I
Yeah,
tend to
I totally
talk.
understand. Oh, you're
talk.
good, man. Listen, the more context, the better. I do want to pay attention a little bit to your collaborators here, JD Allen and Solomon Parham, who are all over this record, obviously. I think we may have talked about them a little bit in the past. However, I want to know their influences on this record and where do they kind of fit in.
Yeah, so for people who aren't familiar, the trio on this record of myself on guitar, Abhinav Hanu on drums, and Chris Bates on bass. We've worked together quite a lot. So we already have a series of singles we had put out and a full length record. They're like the working trio uh, up until basically very recently, and it's nothing. Isn't we didn't like break up or and anything like that. We've just all become very very busy with everything else that we got going on
Sure.
as leaders and artists in the community as well. Um, but the addition of JD Allen and Solomon Parham was just really like just an amazing experience. Um, JD had been a friend and a teacher, um, like a mentor for at least a couple of years at the point of us recording that record,
Sure.
maybe close to 3. I'd taken a handful of lessons with him online uh, during the pandemic. Um, we stay in contact, and there was a lot of stuff that he'd give me that um, really helped me out. So then being able to work with him on this record was um, I would like to say a very very great learning experience.
Awesome.
Um, you know, I mean, he's JD Allen. He's one of the best saxophone players in the world. I mean, he definitely has one of my favorite sounds I've ever heard come out of a tenor
Awesome.
saxophone, just like tone wise.
Oh yeah.
I I put him up there with like just all my favorite tenor sounds. Um, and he's a real expert in the work of playing with a trio. Um, and yeah, so it was an amazing experience, and I learned a lot. I learned so much, and in a lot of ways, it did feel very natural.
Yeah. I mean, were these songs born out of jams?
No, they weren't born out of jams at all. I had just written all the music. So the only one that
Oh,
hadn't been
nice.
written
Okay.
pre the experience was Fleeting Moments. But
Okay.
Fleeting Moments just felt very in tune with what happened. But the rest of them, I basically sat down and like I don't know. Once JD let me know he was on board to do a record
Sure.
together, I just like I had already been planning to do something with him. I have him, you know, featured on a one or two singles on a uh I think just one on like another produced record I haven't put out yet, similar to Barely Anyone Calls Me.
Sweet.
Um but uh and that's actually what's funny is like I was chopping up those takes at the time that the bullet came through the window for this other produced record. So in a sense, like I think it's part of like why it came natural, because he was definitely a mentor through
Yeah.
certain points in time. Um, uh, but yeah, once that happened, I was just like kind of immediately like, okay, well, I guess this is what the record is going to be about. Like, and I was like, I need to deal with this. So I like I don't know, maybe a month or two after it happened, I just sat down and wrote the other 6 or 7 tunes. I forgot. Just every other tune other than Fleeting Moments, I wrote within like a week or two.
That's wild. I mean, obviously the influence and the feeling was there. I can't I mean, I know that songwriting is incredibly difficult. Did you take care of all the separate parts, or were the other musicians able to kind of do their own thing a little bit?
Yeah, I did. I wrote out all the other parts. Like I wrote all the
Damn.
transpositions for the horns, all that. And
Wow.
I handwrite my stuff to this
Sure,
day. Like a lot
sure.
of people use technology. I just think like there's a magic that happens in handwriting, and I've worked hard. I worked somewhat hard to make my handwriting look good.
Yeah.
Um, there were things like in the studio, like again, that was like one of the like um, amazing learning experiences and also challenging at times. Um, for me and just in personal ways and just learning to let go and other things like that. Um, things like in the studio, there was times where like JD would maybe want to make some changes or made some move some things around a little bit, and his contributions in that way with some of them were also just very integral to the sound of the record. Solomon too,
Sure.
um, but uh, it's the source material that I wrote was still there. The only thing that might have been changed in some cases was one of them either added or moved a harmony note around, um, or um, uh, unlike Patience Understanding, um, would split the melody up in certain ways
Sure.
that I didn't originally have in mind. that was cool to see unfold.
Amazing, dude. I mean, honestly, you crushed it on this record. It's so damn good. And um, I would urge anyone that's going to listen just to like make sure nothing is going on around you. You know, this is like a headphones, go for a walk, tune out the world kind of record, and it just breathes its own life into everything that's happening. I have a couple more questions for you. I want
Yeah.
to know is there maybe anything that I haven't asked or anything important about this record that you think people should know before they check it out for the first time?
Uh, I don't know. Like I'm not really big into giving people preconceived notions.
Oh,
I've
that's
realized
okay.
that. I've realized that at this point in my life. I think at this point, like we definitely talked about what it's is about, and I
Yeah,
think that kind of covers that. The only thing I would say is just like the overall message that I want people to take from this record is that like we need a great deal of empathy, grace, and love for ourselves and everybody around us.
yeah.
Like I'm just like I am so over all the infighting, for lack of a way to put it, that
No,
humanity
that's
isn't.
yeah. I fully
And
agree.
the problem is we are so divided along so many lines so that we're fighting like this rather than fighting like this.
Hmm.
And I don't care what anyone says. I mean, this might be controversial, but I'm just going to come out and say it. And I'm not saying this as a political thing because I'm not standing on any single side of any of these things. But every single one of these movements that we've seen in the past, however many years, that a lot of times, in some cases, may have started somewhere good. Um, they've all been hijacked by corporations. They all get
That
hijacked by
is the truth.
corporations. They all get spun in certain ways by our media here. And regardless of how well they're started, they use spark wars that make people fight amongst one another. And um, I'm I'm someone who's experienced every form of abuse you can think of. And I mean that physically, emotionally, mentally, sexually. I have been. And the other thing I'm going to tell you, we don't solve these problems by putting people in prisons.
No, that is a fact.
Um, and my issue isn't people taking accountability. My issue is the way that we want people to take on shame. And I don't think that people should have to take on shame, regardless of what side they're on, what mistakes they've made, because it doesn't help anyone grow. I'm not saying that certain people shouldn't be in places where they can get the treatment that they really need, but that's not what our prisons are. Our prisons
I
need to be
agree.
a lot more like what we consider rehab, like
Yeah,
actual
no,
rehab.
100% rehab
And then,
facilities because you're not solving problems just sitting behind a bar all day.
no. And our rehabs need to be even something significantly better than what
Yeah,
they are for the common man.
I
So,
agree.
and until we have that, we're not solving any of those problems. And that's what this tune "They Are You" is really about, is like, because I could go around like hating this person who did this, blah blah blah, all this sort of stuff, being like, the police, police got the bullet, they never found it. I could be this person sitting there calling the police every day, being like, hey, you know um did you catch the guy, did you whatever, and wish whatever against them, and I've had some people do some very, very, very to learn to forgive them, you know. And I'm saying that to say that there's actually like strength in that. There's actually what people need to do. I didn't necessarily just forgive because um, for them, it was for me.
Right.
And regardless, the thing is, for all those people, I would just hope that they grow. I hope that they learn and grow too.
Yeah, man.
Maybe I don't
I'm right
ever want
there
to see
with
them
you.
again. Maybe whatever, that's fine. But I just hope they learn and grow, and that's it. And that's what I hope for this person. Whoever did this is that
Yeah, man.
they learn and they grow. And I don't think making the every single one of us that like making social media and everything like that, the judge, jury, and executioners for everything is the way to solve all these problems.
Right.
It's just not. And especially if you want to solve the bigger problems that we have in this country, it's definitely not. There's no way for you to take an honest look at any of these things and not see them as tools to make all the ants in a jar, as referring to, like, that 99% of us fight against each other.
I agree. Um, well, listen, man, uh, as always, it's great getting to talk to you and just opening up and being real for once. I find a lot of these interviews are not necessarily like canned responses, but there's like a holding back, and you don't, which I really appreciate. Um,
Thank you, Austin.
you're welcome. Before we wrap up, please let me plug this record for you one more time.
Yes, please.
So, if you've made it this far, which I hope you have, I'm speaking with Cody Steinmann. The record is called Stray Bullet Blues. And as always, we'll have the links everywhere so that you can listen and share and follow along. Can always count on you to put out more music, man. You always continue to amaze me with the work that you put out. Um, keep it up, always, and I hope to speak soon.
Yes, Austin, always a pleasure, my friend, for real.
You're very welcome. All right,
Yep,
have an amazing rest of your day, and we'll chat soon, man.
yep, you too.
Take care. Bye bye.